All right, Shalom. Giving our praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, the rest of the 144,000. This is your brother Zawan from GMS Atlanta, back with another edifying video. And this will be news and prophecy. What I have here is an article from the Associated Press. It's entitled, Turkey Wants to Join the Brics Bloc of Developing Economies, Official Confirms. Turkey wants to join the Brics Bloc of Developing Economies, Official Confirms. I'll jump right into it. It says a senior official on Tuesday confirmed the report that Turkey wants to join the Brics Bloc of Developing Economies, but stopped short of declaring that the NATO country had formally applied for membership. Now, Turkey is a part of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is a part of the Western hegemony of countries that includes America, many of the EU nations, the European Union countries, and others, which is you know what? Let's look it up. Let's look up NATO. Just real quick. What is NATO? Let's see here. NATO, a intergovernmental military alliance of Western states. And Turkey is a part of that alliance. It's a military alliance. So if one country attacks attacks Turkey or attacks France or Germany, then NATO countries would have to join in a military effort to protect that alliance member. So now what is happening here is Turkey wants to join Brics, which consists of Russia, China, Brazil, India, South Africa, and a number of other countries are now joining Brics. Okay, which is the economic coalition led by Russia. So now it says the Bloomberg News Agency reported Monday that Turkey had officially applied to join Brics several months ago. Asked about the report, Ömer Çelik, spokesman for Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's ruling party, said Erdogan has stated several times that Turkey aspires to become a member. Our request on this issue was clear. This process is ongoing, but there is no concrete development regarding this, Çelik told reporters. Our president has clearly stated that Turkey wants to take part in all important platforms, including Brics. The Brics Alliance was founded in 2006 by Brazil, Russia, India, and China, with South Africa joining in 2010, but has recently undergone a major expansion and now includes Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the United Arab Emirates. Saudi Arabia has said it's considering joining, and Azerbaijan has formally applied. Now, where does this line up with Bible prophecy? Well, let's get the scripture. This lines up with the book of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. And I'm going to have to go to a few maps, maybe a map or two, because a lot of the land masses in the Bible have modern names in the 2020s. But they are prophetic about those regions and those lands in Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, which would correspond with what's happening now. So this is Ezekiel 38:1. And the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Now this land of Magog, okay, when you look it up, let's go to search web. When you look up the land of Magog, the land of Magog. Okay, here we go. So this is a good map. As a matter of fact, here we go. It's going into Ezekiel 38, which is fairly accurate when you go into these maps. So here's more of a modern map here, where you have Russia, Iran, Ethiopia, Libya, okay? And then the ancient map dealing with Gog here. They say Magog, but it's actually Gog. So Gog corresponds to Russia, right? Meshech, Tubal, which would correspond with, let's see here, let me go back. Well, this would be Armenia in this region here around the Black and the Caspian Sea. In this region here, let's see if I can maybe pull it up. In Turkey. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, Turkey. So Turkey. So you have Gog, right? Russia. Right, Meshech, which is Armenia here. Azerbaijan, Armenia, Persia, which is Iran, Tubal and Gomer, Togarmah is Turkey, which I'm going to get into that. So those ancient land masses are the countries that we're reading about in that article today. So it says in verse 3, and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. So Russia is a part of that region of nations. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. What does this mean? This means that the Lord is going to take control through the Spirit. And I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So that means the Russian army is being amassed and built up. That's why over the last decade or so we've seen an increase in nuclear missile development, military marches, war games, and now even a war with Ukraine, okay, backed by the West. So Ezekiel 38 is building up now. Now you have these guys, Brother Hassad and Deacon Akkad, and even Sakari, led by Priest Alazar, saying that Ezekiel 38 is going to happen in the future, pursuing the Revelation, the 20th chapter, and the 4th verse, saying that once the Israelites are back in the land, then Russia's going to amass an army and attack Israel again, and then the Lord is going to destroy them. But no, this is happening now. Everything pertaining to the nations fighting and having a war, coming against Israel, fighting in the land of Jehoshaphat, barren and desolate, that's happening now as we speak. That's being built up right now. Okay? Now it says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. And when you look at Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, let's see if I can find the map. Let me see here. Some of these maps are good. Some of these maps kind of cut certain things off. Here we go. So Persia, right, is Iran. You can see here, of course, you got the land, Israel with Netanyahu today. But you have Ethiopia, Cush, Libya, so Libya, Ethiopia, Persia, Iran, all right, they're all allied and wanting to be in some way, shape, or form a part of Brics now. Okay. Let's go back, verse 6. Now it says Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. So what we're seeing, we mentioned Gomer, Eastern Europe, Turkey, Armenia, Togarmah, and many people, right, are being added and applying for Brics, even amongst the Saudi Arabians, right? It's not mentioned exclusively in this chapter, but it says as many people with thee. And a lot of countries are trying to build an economic relationship with Russia and Brics, right? China's a part of that as well. So we're seeing this come to pass now. Verse 7, be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company. So now we're seeing Russia prepare. How are they preparing? They have a strong military, but they're also preparing economically. Okay? Thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So now Russia is going to be a guard and a protector of its economic coalition, and also militarily, they're going to be a guard. That's why they're doing trades of rockets and certain defense systems back and forth between Iran and certain other countries. They're economically trading with their local currencies instead of dollars, which is why we see what's called a de-dollarization happening around the world. And that's been going on for years, a number of years as well. So this is a part of the fulfillment of that. Okay? And this is what the scriptures are saying. Let me see here. It says, now Brics has stated aim to amplify the voice of the global South. Its founding members have called for a fairer world order and the reform of international institutions like the United Nations, the IMF, and the World Bank. All of these, the IMF and National Monetary Fund, the World Bank, they're all tied to the control of the bankers of Esau. So they want to change how things are set up. Okay, and America and most of the Western countries are not with that. It says Erdogan, who has been in power for more than 2 decades, has sought to carve a more independent foreign policy for Turkey and to enhance its global influence. So this is dealing with Gomer, Togarmah, okay, and Ezekiel 38. The country is also frustrated by the lack of progress in its membership talks with the European Union. Last week, Erdogan said Turkey would simultaneously develop relations with both the East and the West. We don't have to choose between the European Union and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, Erdogan said in reference to the regional cooperation organization established by China and Russia. On the contrary, we have to develop our relations with both these and other organizations on a win-win basis. So that's what they want. Okay? But NATO isn't really having it, you know? It says Brics is expected to discuss taking in new members in a meeting in Russia next month. Turkey, which straddles Europe and Asia, joined the NATO military alliance in 1952. It began talks to join the European Union in 2005, but the negotiations have stalled due to concerns over democratic regression under Erdogan's administration and ongoing disputes with Cyprus, an EU member, among other challenges. Yeah, Cyprus, some years back, maybe about 10 years ago, 2013, 14, Cyprus was going through a heavy economic crisis, runs on the bank, shutting down of certain local banks was happening. So, they were, dealing with a crisis. Now, I'm not sure if they got bailed out, maybe by Germany. But there was a situation over there that was dire when it came to the economics over there in the island country of Cyprus. It says earlier this year, Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan said Turkey was exploring new opportunities for cooperation with several partners in different platforms such as Brics. On Monday, Dmitry Peskov, spokesman for Russian President Vladimir Putin, also said Turkey has expressed its interest in joining Brics. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to join Brics. That isn't what is being spoken about here. But it could be a situation to where they do change. Maybe, we'll see what happens. But as far as God, right, Russia and Gomer, Togama, Turkey being allied together, that's in the scriptures. Okay? So this is what the prophecy says. And Turkey, for a number of years, has been looking to Russia for help, to do, trade with China and Persia, Iran. So we'll see how this plays out. But this is definitely Ezekiel 38. Okay? Because they're not a part of the EU, all right? Turkey is not a part of the EU, but it is a part of NATO. Now, could we see NATO break up? Now, prophecy in the book of Daniel, chapter 2, did speak about the 10 toes being partly weak and partly strong, and England had broke off from the EU. So the EU was economically weaker than it was before. Okay? But it's still partly strong because you have economic countries like Germany and France that are still pretty, although they're not as economically strong as they were before, they're still pretty economically sound. So we could see maybe a break off of Turkey from NATO, all right? We'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen. But the prophecy says that Turkey is going to be allied with Russia, and Russia's going to guard and protect all these nations. So this is like a prophecy watch, okay? So I believe that was it on this article. Yep, that was it. Nothing really more. So, so with that, I'll say shalom.